Hey, what's up guys? I'm Josh Adams, and welcome to my new video. I decided that 2014 was a great year for movies, and for the first time I've actually seen quite a few of the movies that are getting a ton of praise. So I decided, for the end of the year, I'm gonna do a top 5 list of my top 5 movies of the year. Now this is my own personal top 5, because there are still a lot of movies that are getting great reviews I still haven't seen yet, like Boyhood by Richard Linklater, or Nightcrawler, Whiplash, Snowpiercer I've heard some good things about. So this is completely my opinion, my own personal list based off of what I've seen. But anyway, I think I've seen some great movies, and so I just wanted to share my opinion on what my top 5 were for the year. So why don't we get started with number 5. This is going to be the only superhero movie on the list, and it is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And I chose this movie because it really showed that Marvel can go beyond the basic Marvel formula that we're all used to, and they can really do another genre within the superhero genre by making a really good, really intense spy thriller in the world of Captain America. And it fits perfectly, the tone is great, it's got a little bit of comedy to lighten it up, and overall, it is probably my favorite Marvel movie that has been made so far. Just edging out Guardians of the Galaxy, which would be about number 6 on this list, if I'm going to be honest. Because Guardians of the Galaxy, I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. It felt like it was really upbeat, really fun. But I feel like part of it was also, we just needed the fun adventure to get over how big and moving the Winter Soldier was, like how serious and dramatic that was. And so part of Guardians of the Galaxy was bringing up the mood from that movie. But overall, I think The Winter Soldier was still the better movie of the two, so that's why I got number 5 on my list. Number 4, I am going to give... Excuse me. Number 4, I'm going to give to Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. In fact, never mind. Forget the Live, Die, Repeat part, it's just Edge of Tomorrow. Once again, really fun movie. I'm gonna be honest, from the trailers and everything, when the movie came out, I was not interested in this movie at all. It just looked like, honestly, a kind of boring Tom Cruise Groundhog Day sci-fi ripoff. But then online I kept hearing these great things about it, and so it got me really interested in saying, okay, what is this all about? And then I finally saw it. And it was amazing. It was clever, smartly written, tightly paced, great performances from the entire cast. And then I found out it's based off of a Japanese light novel, All You Need Is Kill. So I'm definitely gonna pick that up and see what that's like. But yeah, overall it was just the smartest summer blockbuster, honestly, that I've seen in years. And so overall it was just a really great movie. And if you haven't seen it yet, if you were put off by it, by the advertising or whatever, definitely go check it out, because it was a really good movie. Number 3 on my list is Birdman. Now, Birdman is an amazing test. I don't know. Birdman is just amazing in that I don't know if the role was written for Michael Keaton, but Michael Keaton is perfect as the lead in Birdman, as like a fledgling actor who's only known for playing a superhero role, who's trying to make a name for himself on Broadway by making a serious play. And then Edward Norton plays pretty much himself, a hard-to-work-with actor who's also in the production, and overall it is just an amazingly shot, amazingly composed. The score perfectly complements the movie. And it's like something I honestly didn't even notice on my first viewing, is that almost the entire movie is just one long continuous shot. And it's really a movie that leaves you thinking, because they're not clear about certain things. And the ending itself is very ambiguous and very open to interpretation on what you thought happened. And I just love the movie. It was funny, it was dramatic, it got you thinking, it had amazing performances. I mentioned Michael Keaton and Edward Norton, but also there was Emma Stone, Zach Galifianakis, Naomi Watts, and others I know I'm forgetting. Overall, it was just an a really good movie that did a really good satire of criticism, theater, Hollywood, and just the entire entertainment industry, and it was just a blast to watch. Number 2 for me this year, which is right up there with number 1, but just under it, is David Fincher's Gone Girl. Once again, this is a movie I had no idea what it was about going in. I knew that I'd heard good things about it, but I had no idea what it was. And I gotta say, once again, blown away by the performances. Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, especially Tyler Perry was really surprising because like most people, all I know him from are his own Medea movies, which aren't that good. But he was amazing and perfectly cast as a lawyer in this. And also Neil Patrick Harris, who I had no idea was in this, but he really fit the character well. And it's just a really great, intriguing mystery, which just takes so many turns without saying anything. You think you know where it's going, and then it goes a completely different direction, and it just leaves you by the end just like, what is going on? What did I just see? And it is just amazing. In the performances and the delivery, once again, the composition, the soundtrack, the score, all of it ties together to create this really tightly packed, compressed story. And it's like 2.5 hours long, but I had no idea it was anywhere near that long because it just flew by, because it was just so intriguing and you just wanted to see what's going to happen next. And once again, it's just, if you haven't seen it yet, I know it's about ready to come out on DVD, definitely check it out, because if it weren't for the number 1 film, it would definitely be number 1, but the number 1 film just clicked for me on so many levels that just edged it out. If it weren't for that, Gone Girl would definitely be my number 1 pick for the year, because it is just a great movie. Before I say my number 1 pick, I'm going to shout out some honorable mentions. Like I said, Guardians of the Galaxy was definitely up there for me. Another movie that not a lot of people, I bet no one is going to have on their top 10 list, and the only reason I almost put it was because it just has a lot of personal sentimental value to me, kind of like nostalgia, is The Fault in Our Stars. Which is obviously based off the novel The Fault in Our Stars by YouTube vlogger John Green. And I bought the novel when it came out. I read it. I loved it. I read it like 7 or 8 times. And when the movie came out, I was super excited. I went opening night, surrounded by a bunch of teenage girls, which was the funniest experience in my life, of just teenage girls bawling their eyes out while their other friends told them to quiet down because they wanted to hear what was going on in the movie. And honestly, I'd say if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch. It's not... The trailers make it look sort of like the sappy, generic romance teen movie. Honestly, it is more than that, and I would definitely give it a chance if you haven't. Though do make sure you watch the theatrical, not the extended version, because the extended version adds in scenes that are purely there for fan service for fans of the book. That won't make any sense, pretty much, and just really mess up the pacing of the movie if you aren't familiar with the book. Anyway, other than that, X-Men Days of Future Past, yet again another superhero movie that was pretty smart. I really liked it, I really enjoyed it, but not quite. I'd say it would probably be about number 10 on like a top 10 list. And like I said, I haven't seen some of the best movies. Some of the movies are getting great reviews. Inherent Vice is another I haven't seen yet. So, you know, if I'd seen these, this list would probably be different. And then, like, the Lego Movie is another movie that I really like this year. But my number 1 pick, my number 1 movie of the year, is Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. I am a sci-fi fan. I love science fiction. I love space. I love all of that. And this movie just clicked for me on several levels. It is almost 3 hours long. And you can kind of feel the length on this one because it does drag in some parts. But the parts that it does well, it does extremely well, and it put it at the number 1 spot this year for me. It has some great comedic moments, which feel right with the set of the with the tone of the movie. It has a great story it has a great science fiction story, which I have no idea how close to realistic it is, but I really enjoyed it. It had me gasping the first time I saw it. I've seen this movie twice so far. It had me gasping the first time I saw it. And like all the little plot holes that throughout the movie just thinking, okay, why did this happen then? By the end were resolved for me. And I left the theater satisfied with the ending. There was one kind of thing that seemed like a bit of a jump, like a bit of a reach, but honestly I can forgive it because the rest of it is so great. And I'm not going to go into any spoiler details because the best part for me is, much like Gone Girl, I went into Interstellar having no idea what it's about. Just that it's a space movie from Christopher Nolan. If that's all you know about this movie, you should definitely try to keep it that way before you watch it, because for me it just enhanced the experience having no idea what was going to happen going in. But yeah, it was just a great movie that played with several different themes of love and friendship and science fiction, and some great science fiction aspects of, well, I mean, I guess the trailers kind of showed this, of like us having to find another planet, and it just worked for me. And it is my #1 movie of the year. So what did you guys think? If you've seen the movies that I named here, let me know what you thought of them in the list below. Give me your own personal top 5 movies of the year, and I will definitely take a look at the movies I haven't seen yet, such as, like I said, Boyhood, Nightcrawler, Inherent Vice. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. You can look forward to a lot more videos coming soon. I'm going to have more details for you soon, but I promise this time, when I say a lot more videos, I mean a lot more videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Josh Adams, and you have a great day. Bye.
I gotta kill. Hey, look at that.